I want to talk a little about very quickly. And I think, Vanda, have you got a copy of my book?
Yes.
In the preface to this book, which all of you may not have, but I hope that you all will get for some time. In the preface to this book, I say something about how I write poetry, how poetry is done. And I'll just quote from it. All in all, I've been writing, or trying to write poems since I was a teenager. I found the process mysterious. Occasionally a poem emerges in the consciousness, fully formed, and can be dislodged from there onto paper with a shake of the pen. And in this collection, such poems are Nightfall and What It Was Like Once read. And certain poems that just land in your mind and then can land on the left. But mostly what occurs is a sense of something needing to be said. A couple of lines in the head, that's just a phrase. And the accumulation, and I call these accumulation poems. And the accumulation of a poem begins and goes on with many fits and starts and adjustments, abandonments and reformulations. And then I give an example of a poem in the collection, which started with some phrases in my mind and developed over weeks and weeks actually, and finally became a full-fledged poem. I think I should say here, something else I mentioned is, any poem emerging from a process like this has generally been through many drafts. Very often such beginnings never become whole poems and rest forever on discarded worksheets. Long effort yields nothing worthy of being said. I just want to make that point again, because let's just leave aside what I call the inspiration poems, which land in your head and land on the desk quickly. The accumulation poems are generally a long process of drafting, redrafting, changing, and sometimes, quite often actually, it goes on for a long time and then you suddenly decide, no, this is not going to work, and you discard it. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. I think all of you might tend to feel that anything you produce should be preserved forever, because you've done it, and perhaps some of you put a lot of effort into it. But sometimes the fact of the matter is that all this doesn't lead to it. And have no fear or have no unhappiness about discarding work as well, having had a really hard work. I was just looking up the couple of the, for instance, there's one poem in this book called Mule, and this took a lot of work, and I was just looking about, I happened to leave some, didn't destroy some of the drafts, and you will see, just from looking at this quickly, this is just the end of the process, but you can see the scribblings, and you all don't probably write in pen, but I can tell you it goes through an enormous amount. These are the last 3 or 4, and even after that there are a lot more. But it's a process of changing and putting ins and scratching outs and drafting and redrafting. These accumulation poems, most poems, in my experience, takes a lot of time and work. And sometimes you're frustrated because it doesn't lead to anything that you yourself think is worthwhile. And let me just